And I wish I'd have known this when I am panic attack, I am anxiety, I am depressed, constantly affirming this to the universe and myself and recreating it in my experience. And I really wish I had known that difference between I'm experiencing it, that don't mean I am this.
From my notice on really sensitive people to energy and of course consciousness itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like see quite a few running spectrum sequencing, I'll say. Something like that. There's something. And also too, like for me, it's this is the whole myself out on the table. Okay. That is extraordinarily neurodivergent, like wide spectrum. And I'm happy that my system knows how to work with it enough because I could easily flip into a space where I would be very not functional down here as
Yeah.
a human, right? That
Yeah.
would be easy because that space is so much easier for me to traverse in. Being not verbal is so much easier for me to traverse in.
I guess the way we navigate this now moving forward, labels. Now, I'm on both sides. Just before I go into it, I sit on both sides. I did a lot of research on the self-fulfilling prophecy. And when you have an identification, a label, you can kind of like limit yourself to sometimes behaviors and I have seen it sometimes with people being told from a young age that they are something and they can't do these things because they are that thing. And then them thinking that they're not capable or never trying because they've been told that they can't. And so that's the thing. But also on the other side, I thought I was very thick at school because I didn't know I was dyslexic. And so I did not know why I struggled in exams, why I got more distracted by the clock ticking of the clock than the question that was being asked. Like I had no idea why
Yeah.
these things were so difficult to me. And so getting that label of dyslexia really helped my brain release shame on not functioning the same way normal people did. So I guess it's a really weird line I sit on. I'm like, I like the labels because I think they help the human understand, but also like I'm not going to be limited by that and I don't let it become who I am.
Oh, totally.
It's just a way of expressing my frequency sometimes
Totally.
and it can
Yep.
human translate to other people. So for example, without the word autism, how do you explain the fact you don't want to speak and you can't speak because you're that dysregulated and your brain's not braining, like
That's
without them
true.
words, how do you human that?
That is an absolute thing. For the longest time, I just like used Spectrum. Um,
Yeah,
but my body and it's giving my body the choice to see how it wants to fluidly move. Like how
yeah,
do you want to work with this piece? Because obviously those masks are full off and like I'm out and about with that spectrum, working with it on a day-to-day basis, right? If I am communicating with others, like my body is gonna go, I do run through the spectrum. That's not my limitation though, and it's not my identification, right? It's
yeah,
just a mode of expression to move through. Um,
right.
that gives it's the bridge. I usually like say it when it's a bridge point. I'm like, just so we're aware of that. And it does help my body go, okay, right off the bat, this is where this is headed. Like, so,
Yeah,
you know, I will be full out there and if something pops up that might make you uncomfortable, like that's what that's gonna be. But I'm gonna tell
yeah,
you who I am right off the bat in the space.
yeah. And it does help. I think that's the thing. So I think I'm a firm in the middle around labels. I don't think that they should like be overly forced, and I don't think that they should be undervalued for human acknowledgement as well, because they can help process a lot of things. Just don't get caught up in the I am this, because then sometimes, especially like health conditions, and mental health conditions.
Sure.
Some days I have depressive days, but it doesn't mean I am depressed, and I think that that's important to distinguish the difference between we all have expressive days. Sometimes you might be going through a period of life where them days are more often than other days, and you have them more continuously, more prolonged for an extended amount of time than you have at another stage of life. But it still does not mean you are that thing. You are
Absolutely.
just experiencing that emotion for a longer period of time, for example. And I wish I'd have known this when I am panic attack, I am anxiety, I am depressed, constantly affirming this to the universe and myself and recreating it in my experience. And I really wish I had known that difference between I'm experiencing it. That don't mean I am this, because the
Totally.
I am is very powerful for creation. And if you are affirming that all the time, it's not the best for overall future creation of timeline.
Absolutely. That's
Mm.
it's just it's discernment. It's discernment in your body,
Yeah,
how you want to move it. I was moving through medicine spaces at one point, and obviously I've had a deep existence in this particular time and space, and I'm very expressive about it. This is what I moved through. This is what that looks like. I'm not ashamed of what happened to me. Um,
yeah,
and I heard from the background like, well, isn't pain your thing? Did you come here with pain? And my body just stood up and said, I have experienced it, yes. The pain is not mine to carry, and I will not
yeah,
be labeled under that terminology. But thank you. But yes, I am a human. I have moved through it.
yeah.